Good morning and welcome back to the homestead. Well, it's about 8 a.m. We are kind of I think today's February 24th or something like that. I don't know exactly. But spring is in the air here in central Oklahoma. And I'm just going to do a quick little video to show you because this time of year is always super exciting to me because the plants are starting to put out new growth. The trees are growing, getting buds. So I'm just going to show you the real early plants and kind of activities that are showing me signs of spring. And it's exciting. We had 82 degrees for a high a few days ago. I can barely believe that. But we're supposed to be in the 70s, high 70s all weekend for a high. Still cool at night. Like right now, it's nice and cool, but the sun is really, you can just feel the sun, hitting your skin, and it feels just awesome. So I want to show you this red maple here. If I can try to grab this branch. But look at that. Already got buds all over it. How cool. So that tree normally doesn't get buds and bloom quite this early, but this year it decided it's going to. So if you follow my other videos or watched them, you've seen that we are doing this. We took out a pool here and we were doing a little landscape, and I had already had this canoe used as a planter, and it had a bunch of plants already in it. Sorry about the sun glaring there. I'm trying to show you here. But these are daylilies. There's a bunch of daylilies in here. Oh, hi, baby. Hi, Molly. Molly wanting to come say good morning. Hi. But daylilies are starting to come up. The irises are starting to, the foliage is starting to grow. So, exciting time of year, to say the least. You can see here, this is a clematis vine, I guess you'd call it, on this little trellis thing here. But you can see, hopefully you can see that, we've got new growth starting to pop there. This one's purple. The flowers are huge and purple. And that's gonna be nice. I'm trying to see what else we got going on here. These are some double knockout roses here. Hard to see, maybe, but you can see the new growth coming on. Those are double knockout roses. The roses are small. Hold on, got an airplane flying over. That thing's loud. Looks like some kind of military aircraft. But anyway, the double knockout roses, the blooms, the roses, flowers, I guess, are small, but they bloom all year, just over and over and over. And pretty low maintenance, and you can trim them back. Super easy to grow. And I just like them. They're almost no maintenance. Other than if they get too big, you can just whack them back easy, and pretty easy. This is actually a hyacinth growing. It's a bulb coming out of the ground there. I had a bunch of them in here, and I'm guessing that some gophers or moles got in there and ate, because it's just two plants coming up. So, dang critters, man, they got to eat too, I guess, huh? So here's another double knockout. You can see some new growth. Whoops. You can see some new growth here. I'm not sure if you guys can even see that on the video. This is something that I was super excited about. These are blackberries, thornless blackberries. But look at that. I mean, these things are already almost completely leafed out. So that's exciting to see. The other thing that's already had leaves on it for a while now are elderberry. You can see here, try to turn it to the light so you can see, but that's all new growth. Nice green growth on these things. I'm not sure if you can even see that. Probably not the best time of day to video, but we're packing up the camper and we're gonna do another overnight down at Medicine Creek in Medicine Park, Oklahoma. Go do some trout fishing. This is probably gonna be the last weekend we have available till the season's over. So I've got a ton of stuff to do here at the homestead, but you know what? It's gonna have to wait, because you don't get to trout fish very often, and the season here in Oklahoma ends soon, and we're gonna do some trout fishing. So let's see what else we got here showing signs of spring. This is a hazelnut tree that's on the edge of my garden, but look at the buds on that one coming up. Some of these are about to try to get it to focus there, sorry. But anyway, you get the picture. All right, we're in the high tunnel here. I saw this. These are actually some black cherry trees that I ordered from, I think I ordered those from Mossy Oak. I think it's Mossy Oak, Native Nurseries. I didn't get them planted last fall, and so I just healed them in here in this raised bed. But man, look at all that new growth. Those babies need to get planted outside. I plan on putting those. These are black cherry and these are red mulberry. All 6 of those. There's 6 of them there total. They're from Native Nurseries. I'm going to plant those in the front of the property in the area that I call my naturescape. Now I call it my naturescape because it's an area that already had, when I bought this property, it's at the front. Our driveway is like 500 feet long, and it's at the front of the property on one side of the driveway. And it's probably 2 acres, maybe 2.5 acres, that it's just kind of a, the terrain is you know, it's got a nice terrain. It's not just perfectly flat, I guess is what I'm saying. So it feels kind of natural. It had some native persimmon, some native blackberry, wild blackberry, and some other shrubs, just natural native shrubs that had little berries on them. They're not edible to people, but the birds eat them. I need to go use my app on my phone to see what kind of plant that is, but I keep forgetting to do that. But I like to have that. I'm kind of, you know, I like to have wildlife around, and I like birds. So I've been told I'm an old soul, and I like to have birds. I feed the birds. I always have. But if I can feed them naturally as opposed to just in bird feeders, I think that's probably better. But anyways, up in that area, I'm planting trees and other plants that are beneficial to wildlife. And the other thing about that area, why I liked it originally, is that it had a ton of wildflowers, just a ton. So I've continued to plant wildflower seed in that area. And I just kind of like, I just like that. I like for the critters and the birds to have a place to go. I like to look at them. I like to watch them. So it's the least I could do. So anyways, we'll continue on here. I'll shut up about that. But I've got, here's one raised bed in this tunnel here where overnight, look at these mushrooms. I have no idea what kind of mushrooms these are. They just pop out of nowhere. And I'll tell you, that'll happen 2 or 3 times a year throughout the growing season. I don't know. I doubt they're edible, but maybe they are. So if you are a mushroom expert, let me know. But they just keep growing, and it's that bed, and they just keep growing over and over and over. And they will literally pop up like that overnight. Just crazy. Let's see what else I got in here. I've already planted my onions. It's pretty sparse in here right now, but I did want to show these 2 beds right here have my favorite early spring treat. Check that out. Asparagus. And this is Millennium asparagus. And I'm pretty sure I got that from Stark Brothers Nursery, starkbros.com. Here's one bed of onions. Got some weeds coming up in there as well. Here's another bed. I've got some comfrey that I grew from seed, and this wasn't a pot under my grow tent behind me, and I just put it in the ground a few days ago in this bed, and look at this. It's already got flower clusters starting there. Crazy. Here's one that was already planted. That was from last year, and that came back nice. When I trimmed back my lavender plants, I took cuttings and I stuck them in here. And these are tiny little pots. But you can see, this is hard to do to hold the phone and point. But if you can see that there's some roots coming out, or at least one root coming out of that hole at the bottom. So these things have rooted, and that will be a bunch of new plants. I'll up pot those into bigger pots, and that'll be a bunch of plants I can plant or share, give away, sell, whatever. This is bee balm, and I just noticed this stuff's all coming back as well. I just planted in here to get more onions there. I plant that bee balm in here, well, really, because I had never grown it before, and I thought, well, I don't know. Let's just see what happens, you know. So I planted that in there, and it filled that whole bed last year. And, you know, it get flowers on it. It's good for the bees and the beneficial insects. So that's always a plus. So anyway, let's take a look here in the grow tent. And I still have a bunch of peppers still in the germination chamber, and these peppers have been ornery. They're just not wanting to germinate. So let me know in the comments if you germinate your own seeds. I know the peppers generally take a little longer than like a tomato seed, but these things are taking 3-4 times longer than a tomato seed. So I don't know, maybe the germination chamber isn't the best for peppers. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let's check it out. All right, here's the germination chamber. Let's see. So these are all banana peppers. I'm not seeing anything. Those are poblano, not seeing anything. Big Bertha bell, nothing. Purple bell, nothing. And those are more bell peppers, green, nothing. So, strange. I don't know. Let me get this grow tent uncovered and let's give it a little update on our starts that we've already got growing in here. All right, get some air flowing into this grow tent. These tomato plants, there was, of all those peppers I just showed you in the germination chamber, this one popped yesterday. So one out of all of those is popped. I don't know, strange. So I set it in here. But the rest of these are tomatoes. These are all beefsteak. And then these are some Megatron jalapeno. Now those germinated well. The jalapenos all germinated well in this chamber. So I don't know what's going on. And then these ones here were from, if you've watched the other videos, these ones are from, boy, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Took them out of the chamber. So they're doing really well. Blue Beauty tomatoes. Bunch of Blue Beauty. Actually, I didn't mean to plant that many, but Chief got rolling and planted all those, and every nope, there's one right there that didn't germinate. So that's pretty dang good. This one's 4th of July. Those are really early producing. This is a climbing 3 triple crop. Sergeant Pepper, gold medal. A couple of them there didn't germinate, gold medals. It looks like the lemon tree is gonna make it unless we just have some catastrophic cold still this winter, which we certainly could, but that's all new growth. So that's exciting. Take a look over on this other side. Now it's funny, these ones don't, I think maybe this lemon tree is shading them just a tad. So I may need to move these. They look a little bit stringier. See how they're not as strong? They're kind of falling over. So I'm gonna go ahead and move these here in a second. But we're looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I gotta watch my step here. I have these 2 heat lamps and they're on a thermostat. This is a super easy way to do this. That little cube, thermo cube there, it's a thermostat in there. So those don't kick on. I think at 34 degrees, those kick on. I also have, if you haven't seen my other videos, this is the orange wire there. This wire, it just goes back and forth inside this bed. You can see a little bit of it there. I cover it with this cocoa husk because it kind of spreads when you're heating up the cocoa husk. It kind of spreads it, the warmth. But these set on that and it keeps it warm and does a really nice job. So anyways, we're looking good. I'm gonna set this phone down and I'm gonna move that one tray over here to where there's an opening so that I can get some better light, I think. One other thing I took cuttings of early this year, or this winter, was when I was doing my rosemary, trimming back that rosemary over there. You probably saw it a minute ago. And these are all cuttings. These are all cuttings that I probably took in probably December. And I just shave off the little leaves portion of the stem at the bottom, dip it into a powdered root stimulating hormone and stick them in this. This is just in cocoa fiber. This doesn't even have any kind of you know, doesn't have any kind of nutrients or anything. It's kind of a neutral type growing soil, or I don't know what word to use there, but you can see these are, let's see if we can see any roots. Now these pots are way bigger, so I doubt we have any roots showing yet. Let's try one more here. Oh yeah. Let me decide what way to turn you here that you can see that. But look at those white strings. Those are roots. Now these were under this grow tent, staying nice and warm. And once you get them off to a good start and get them rooted, well then they're hardy, you know, hardier, and you can move them outside. Now this is still in my high tunnel, but how great is that, man? So I'm gonna walk over here. Those are from a couple of months ago. They were rooted. So I'm gonna walk over here, and I still have some rooted cuttings from last year. So now last year at this time I had, so they look like that now. About a year from now they'll look like this. So this huge plant, now this huge plant is in that tiny little pot. Totally ridiculous. These should have been up potted probably the middle of the summer, last summer, and I never got around to it. But what's happened is the roots have grown out the bottom of these pots and into this raised bed where there's just really nutrient-rich soil. And so that's fine. All I'll have to do here is to up pot these or plant them or whatever. I'll just use a knife and just cut that pot off. And yeah, the pot will be trash, but you know, we'll get these plants either up potted or just give them away as they are. I'll probably plant these things. I've got a few other plants here too that I had made cuttings. This is a goji berry. This is a goji berry, and it's in a pot here, and you can see this thing is rooted out the bottom. All you got to do is loosen up this soil. It pulls right out. No big deal. It's like transplanting any kind of tree or plant or whatever. It's super easy. And this one actually has other roots that are coming up just in the dirt. So the roots have come out the bottom underground, and they're growing. Those are all new plants. I cut those off, and you probably can't see them, but I can here. There's probably 20 goji berry plants that are starting by themselves from roots. So you can just clip all those off, you know, loosen it all up in the soil, get it to where you can see it all, clip it into sections. That'd be 20 new plants. I mean, you can't beat that. I'm gonna keep walking around a little bit, show you what else we got going on. All right, I promise I'm gonna stop rambling and wrap this video up, and we gotta hit the road anyway, but I'm in the orchard, and I wanted to show you, this is one of my pear trees. But look at that. Already buds are breaking. I'll have to look at my map. I've got 4 pear trees, well, 5 pear trees. These 4 have been here for a while, and there's 2 Bartlett and 2, it's the other really common pear tree. I can't remember now, but I don't know which one. I don't remember which one that one is. It seems like it's blooming a lot earlier. Yeah, this one's, well, I got you facing the sun there. Sorry, guys. So this one is the same as that other one I showed you. They seem to be blooming a lot faster as opposed to this pair. Now these little short branches, we'll say, these are actually fruiting spurs. So that's where the fruit's gonna set. Same to what an apple tree would do. They have fruiting spurs. They look like these little stubs. They don't grow very large, but that's where the fruit sets. I still haven't done my spring pruning. Can't believe it's just so early. But spring pruning here in the orchard is what I'm referring to. Sorry about that sun, guys. I'm gonna walk backwards so you don't have to look at the sun, or try to. All right, this is a plum tree. Try to get it to focus there. I might have to put my hand up next to it. But you can see the buds on there. This was a new tree last year. It's a plum from Stark Brothers Nursery, starkbros.com. I'm not sponsored or nothing like that. I'm not sponsored by anybody. But when I find a good product and believe in it, I'm very supportive and loyal. So this is another one, and I showed you this in a video a few videos ago, that this peach tree had already had buds breaking, and then we had some freezing weather, and I think we were 28 degrees, and look at that. It didn't affect it one bit. I mean, I'm impressed, man. I'm very impressed. And now, look at this. Now, we've even got blossoms. Sorry, I got to put my hand behind it for it to focus. But you can see there. Check that out, man. The cows are checking it out too. These are the newest cows that I bought. And they're already looking more filled out and looking better. I'm happy. Just look at that, man. Well, that thing's gonna produce peaches this year. Not a very big tree. We'll get a few peaches off there. I don't want it to grow. I may thin when it starts getting setting fruit, because I don't want it to set too much. I still want the majority of it to go to the you know, the tree itself. The rest of these, see if I can get this to focus here. Yeah, buds on there for sure. Cherry. Yeah, I got some pruning to do. See this? See this branch here? See how it's rubbing this branch? And it actually, that may have killed that branch. It's looking pretty shriveled up, so I may cut this section off. But you don't want branches to rub. That's no good. Here's another one here. If you can see, touching there. Another one there. It's definitely not what you want. Check these ones out. Oh yeah. So this is out in front of my shop. I've talked about this in other videos too. This is my cilantro bed. And I've talked about how I just let it naturally grow. Well, after the hard freezes that we've had, you can see most of it's died back. But some of it has made it. And this stuff is ready to be eaten. Oh yeah. Fresh, man, that's a fresh taste. But anyways, I'll do a whole video on this maybe, but there's hundreds of seeds, probably thousands of seeds that are all in here. And come this spring, this will all be, even over there in that red dirt, that'll all be cilantro. And I've done it this way. I bought one plant, one, quart or whatever plant from Lowe's probably 5 years ago. And every year I just let it do this. I let it bolt and go to seed. And this is what I end up with. Zero maintenance. And a little bit of weeding here and there. I see some dandelions popping up, but I'm gonna back up for a second. This shrub here is a flowering quince. If you look good, you can already see blossoms coming on there. I had to stick my hand behind her to get it to focus, sorry. Now, I was under the impression that this will set fruit at some point, but I've never had fruit off of it, but it sure is pretty. Once it gets leaves on it with the blossoms, it'll be even prettier. I'm sure I'll talk about it when it's all looking a little bit better than it does, but I need to get, the other thing I wanted to point out is all this stuff in here may look like junk, but this is part of my antique collection. That's a pedal activated sharpening stone. So the pedals go up and down. You can pedal it and use that as a sharpening stone. Anyway, I won't get into any of that in this. Maybe I'll do a whole nother video about that some other time, but I just don't want you to think it's junk trash sitting around. This is all mint, and this is what it looks like. And this is all died back and super brittle. I'll come in here with just a metal rake and just rake this, and it'll all just break off. No problem. And it'll grow back thick as ever. So it's one of the reasons why I love YouTube, or why this has been fun doing this on this channel, is the neat feedback I get from people. And on the video, well, just real quick, you can see the stock tank is filled up. Two cool things that came out of this video that I just made, and if you didn't watch that stock tank change out video, go watch that, will you? Two cool things is I had one person comment that these tanks definitely won't last as long as my last one did, and I'm assuming because they don't make them like they used to, type situation. And I totally agree. But the comment said to put paint the date on here so we could, remember when we did that. And I am going to do that. But we also have this video showing, when we did it. But so I appreciate that comment. I really do. And I am interested to see how long this thing's gonna last compared to the other one. The other awesome thing is my buddy Shane, who is a windmill specialist, specifically water pumper windmill specialist. You probably hear the water. It's just started blowing. You can see the water coming out of there. Well, he watched my video and he said, "Jeff, you should be producing way more water than that. I think your leathers are bad. So we need to get those replaced." Well, what leathers are They kind of look like my best description is similar to like a cork, but they're leather. And the leather, it swells with the moisture. And that's what, there's several of them all through here, down through this pipe. There's a sucker rod, I guess is what they call it. But on there is these little, I'll say, cork looking things, and they call them leathers. And that's what allows the suction to pull the water up so it comes out like this. So anyway, I just wanted to mention real quick why this was so cool doing this video, because now Shane's gonna be out and we're gonna do a video on pulling this pump and changing out leathers. So I'm so excited. Y'all get to meet Shane. Y'all get to see the pump being pulled and replacing the leathers on this thing. It's gonna be awesome. So I appreciate it. One other thing that shows spring is in the air. Look at all this green grass. Crazy. If you're wondering what this is right here, that's a tree, a tiny oak tree I planted from Acorn. And I cut the bottom out of these 5-gallon containers and the top, and then a piece of rebar here. But that keeps the rabbits from eating it down to the ground, which they will if you don't protect them. All right. One other exciting thing I got going on here, signs of spring. All these plastic bags have my seeds that I collected, tree seeds that I collected from last year. There's a bunch more in there, and there's all these. I opened up this bag. Now I check these every week come February. Normally this doesn't happen until March at least, maybe even April sometimes. But this is an oak tree, acorns that I gathered at Oklahoma State University. Go Pokes. Let's check these things out. Oh yeah. Is the sun glaring? If you look right here at that tip, it's cracked open and there's a little kind of off-white tail coming out of there. That is a future oak tree. Here's another one. This may be better. Hi, buddy. Hi. So these, growing these trees from their seed, like this, it will grow an exact DNA replica of that mother tree. So this will be the exact same tree as the one there on campus at Oklahoma State University. That's pretty cool. And I do this, it's really just kind of for fun. It's also a challenge. But I do this because it reminds me of special places. So I've got trees from all over the place where they're kind of a special place, and Oklahoma State University is certainly one of them. So I've got probably a dozen different varieties of trees that are seeds from there that are from Oklahoma State, and I'll be planting those and potting them and giving them away or whatever. So anyway, one more sign of spring. Well, like I said, the proof is there. Spring is in the air, man. It's great. Chief doesn't like when I say, like I said. She thinks it's condescending. Let me know, what do you guys think? I certainly don't mean to be condescending. I guess I'm just trying to re-emphasize or whatever a point. One more thing here. This is the weeping willow that I planted for Chief on our 1-year anniversary. Yeah, Oh yeah. Looking good, looking good. Well, let's wrap this up. We're gonna hit the road, and so wish me luck trout fishing, and I hope you enjoyed this. I guess I'm just excited about spring is all. I hope you are too, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Appreciate you watching.